I've just hit the button. And we are now live. And now we're about to do the intro.
I see them blue, for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy DKD72.
Your boy Hijack.
And this is the Big Fat Hero Podcast. Cue the music.
Yelling?
I am not yelling. I am using my broadcast voice.
You use your inside voice.
I am using my inside voice. This is my inside broadcast voice. You're supposed to enunciate, DJ Hijack.
What's that got to do with what you're doing now?
I was enunciating.
Get to the podcast.
Okay. And we're back. Alright, so today on the Big Fat Hero Podcast, what are we going to be talking about? What could we possibly talk about today? I mean, it's July 8th. What's going on right now in the world of comics and geek culture that we can discuss? Spider-Man. Spider-Man. I messed up the lyrics, though. I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, we did that on purpose. So if you haven't figured out, we're going to be talking about Spider-Man. I'm sorry, Spiderman Homecoming. And went to go see the movie on Thursday. And
not to spoil anything.
Yeah, this is the no spoilers review.
But Darth Vader's his father.
It was shocking. It really was shocking. I was almost in tears. I really was. But anyway, I don't know if that joke went over anybody's head or not. So, Spider-Man Homecoming, DJ Hijack, what'd you think?
I think it was the best Spider-Man movie made so far.
Ooh. Now it's my Star Wars reference. I just heard the sound of a million geeks' heads exploding as you said that. Now, DJ Hijack, why would you say?
I'm sure.
I don't know about that.
No, I do.
Oh, you do? Oh,
yes,
you do?
I do.
Okay. All right, so DJ Hijack, you just said that Spider-Man Homecoming, it beats Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire.
True.
It beats Spider-Man 2 with Alfred Molina and Tobey Maguire giving the performances of their careers.
True.
You're saying that this is the best Spider-Man ever.
No.
That includes the really cool 1970s movie where, this is better than those? All of those?
Yeah, I said it was the best one. That's what that means.
What about Spider-Man 3? Come on now. Come on. You had the Sandman.
Like I said, it's the best Spider-Man movie ever made.
Alright, so DJ Hijack says that Spider-Man Homecoming is the best Spider-Man movie he's ever seen.
That's all you need to hear. You don't need to listen to nobody else. Just go to the damn movie.
Okay, well, would you care to elaborate with no spoilers?
No, I don't need to. My word is law.
You have to.
There is. This is the best. Ask anybody.
Well, this is the best podcast. This is the best podcast. I will agree with that. But for those few people that may not be understanding your opinion, maybe you could just elaborate just a little bit, just a little.
The direction, quite nice, very well done. Energy, impactful, very youthful, very fun. Actual kids playing kids. Imagine that. A Spider-Man who can't drink. What?
Look, there were rumors about Tobey Maguire, but we don't know if that's
New
true.
York that looks like New York. By that I mean the people.
It was a very diverse world that he lived in.
No, diverse is not the right word. Accurate.
Oh.
A world that looks like when you go to New York. Where in the other movies, apparently, everybody who's of any kind of ethnicity is just a lighter ethnicity.
Oh, that there may have been some truth to that, some truth. So yeah, in Spider-Man Homecoming, he does attend a very diverse school. He lives in a very diverse, and he's what's at the Bronx, right?
That was Queens.
No, yeah, you're right. It's the Queens. I do apologize to all
your
my
boroughs, bro.
yeah. I gotta know my boroughs. I apologize to everybody over there in the bridge. So my bad. Don't send MC Shan or anybody to get me. But he's a Queens.
You need a fresher reference too.
I didn't want to. I wanted to do the old school reference. There was a reason. All right, I have my reasons.
Okay, old man.
Whatever. So yes, so he lives in a very diverse Queens neighborhood. He's a kid. I agree. He's just a average everyday kid,
Right.
except for the fact that he can stick to walls and lift the bus and that type of stuff.
Yeah, and has a very bangable auntie.
Yes. Marissa Tomei.
I'm sorry, that's not politically correct. Smashable.
Marissa Tomei was looking quite nice in this movie. But she's not just eye candy. She made a damn good Aunt May. And let's start there with her performance because it was limited, but it was impactful. So I'm still not ready to call this the best Spider-Man movie I've seen.
I already did it. It's the best. That's all you need.
Well, that's you. That's your opinion.
Yeah, you don't need to say it. I did it already.
But I'm okay, hijack. But I'm giving my opinion now. I'm not ready to call it, but I do feel as of right now, it's a battle between this one and number 2 as my number 1 Spider-Man movie.
Well, just to short things up and to help you decide, I already said it's the best. There you go.
You know, you can't. When you stop waving your finger, you can't do the Jedi mind trick. That doesn't work on me.
It's not a Jedi mind trick. It's just the truth.
It's terrible. So Marissa Tomei she's Aunt May, and we're gonna get to the main cast, but Marissa Tomei is a good way to entry point. That may not have been a good thing to say, but Marissa Tomei gave a great performance as Aunt May. She was very nuanced.
She did. It's very, very interesting. The little bit of time you got with her.
Yeah.
They seemed like it's nice to see a Parker Aunt May relationship that's not, oh, I'm old and I'm feeble and somehow I'm surviving on a very large Social Security, but I can't pay any bills. Oh, Peter, let me make you age ahead of your time by putting all these pressures on you. Ain't I great?
Wow. Well, apparently you came in with some Aunt May baggage.
What are you talking about?
For this movie.
Lady.
So, but Marissa Tomei's Aunt May, she didn't throw the type of baggage that was normally thrown on poor little Peter Parker. But he still had some things that he had to deal with her.
Started, so.
And
Over time.
well, the fact that she kept getting hit on the whole movie, which wasn't done the way you would think it would have been done, but it was still like he's like,
well,
you know what, this is kind of uncomfortable.
Interesting how the movie also notices that she's hot and smashable.
Yeah,
as the kids would say,
smashable. That's going to be our new word, smashable. So Peter's living in his Queens apartment with Aunt May, of course, and let's talk about
well, you know, he's running around living that Spider-Man life. Got that new suit that he got in Civil War.
Oh yeah, that new suit, which is his own. It's his own character in itself.
Yeah,
in and of itself.
The suit itself is a new character. It's almost like they say, how can we do the symbiote without actually having to deal with Venom or doing a symbiote? Like, what if you had a more cool costume that did a lot of stuff? And yeah, that's what it's like. And it's dope. It's pretty dope. And of course, Spider-Man also thinks it's pretty dope. Jumping around, being the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. But he has aspirations much greater than that. Aspirations because he feels he should be doing more than just handling things on the street.
Well, he feels he should be an Avenger. He should be a full-fledged Avenger.
And being a kid, of course, there's no patience for that. He's just got to have it. Got to have it now.
Well, he gets tired of somebody treating him like he's just a kid, like he's just a 14-year-old kid.
Yeah, his new best bud, Tony Stark.
That shows up every now and then when he's needed the most.
Yeah, and that's one of the important things that we said right away is that, like, a lot of people feared that this was going to be the Tony Stark show. He's hardly in the movie. And when he is in there, it's worth something, but he's barely in the movie. This is Peter Parker's show.
and it really is Peter Parker's show, and that's where we're going to get to. I think the guy that really stands out, and of course he had the toughest role, but Tom Holland as Peter Parker, he was fantastic. Just everything about this kid made me like the. I've always been a Spider-Man fan, and everything about this kid made me go back to. It brought me back to all the reasons I love the character, and he nailed the character perfectly, including his immature moments, which are, because Peter's a responsible guy, are few and far between. But when they're there, and they're glaring.
Yeah,
So
it's almost as if he's a high school kid who's been given an immense responsibility. It's almost like he's gotten great power, and with that
comes great responsibility.
it's a lesson he has to learn.
Wow. But, and here's the funny thing, not once was that spectacular tagline ever uttered. And I don't think that's a spoiler. But
I mean, it would have to be in it for it to be a spoiler.
right. So it was never uttered in the movie. So, but the movie was acutely aware of it and made it basically, it was it was the primary plot line. Is that he literally had to learn about the responsibility that he had. So, you had an interesting observation on Thursday about young Tom Holland in his performance. Did you want to elaborate on that, DJ Hijack?
Oh, that he just made a really hot Rihanna. Never mind. No, I didn't say that.
We'll scratch it. That edit.
That he is not only a good Peter Parker, but a really good Miles Morales. I mean, he really was.
Oh boy, you really want the pitchforks to come out for us.
I'm saying you're giving him all the credit, but I say the person with the best role in the whole movie, really gave us, who was the linchpin and tied this whole movie together, Hannibal Buress. Oh boy, that was money well spent right there. They were like, we need somebody to give so much screen time, so many lines that it's gonna just hold this together and ground Spider-Man into this universe. That's what they did there. Hannibal Buress.
Hannibal Buress.
And then with the dramatic turn, I'm telling you.
And once again, this is the non-spoiler version of the review, so everybody go see Spider-Man Homecoming. Getting back to Peter Parker. No, there was another observation you made about Tom Holland being British.
What are you talking about? He's not British.
Oh, he's not British?
Yeah, didn't you hear that Brooklyn accent?
Well, I thought he was from Queens. Now you saying Brooklyn?
Brooklyn.
Queens.
Where's Brooklyn?
I'm not from New York. I have no idea. So you saying that song was about they going over from Brooklyn to Queens to get the, or what's it? I thought it was about Queens and Brooklyn. That was a strange aside right there. We'll talk about that later. We'll get that in editing there, DJ Hijack.
Yeah. Might want to hit that out. And it was a sad third base reference.
You started it. So yes.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. This is the worst one we've done yet. We've only done 2, so buckle in for more.
There will be more, no matter what. No matter what DJ Hijack says. So, young Tom Holland did not break his accent once. He was a right proper New Yorker, and he gave a very nuanced performance. One I think that everybody will definitely enjoy, and
he did a very good American accent. He made you believe he was born here,
which
much better than the last Spider-Man, who every once in a while you're like, I think that is a mate.
Sometimes he would slip. The other guy, we won't say poor Andrew Garfield. He's got a cool looking movie coming out. So Tom Holland did a bang up performance, but his villainous co-star also gave us a really outstanding performance, and that would be Michael Keaton as the Vulture.
I mean, it was very, very surprising that they were willing to take a chance and go ahead and let Bruce Wayne be in a movie with Peter Parker. And the fact that and of course, you would think Bruce Wayne would not get along with Tony Stark, being they're so similar. I mean, of course he was upset and wanted to get revenge on him.
You know, that you talk about outdated references. You know, he was Bruce Wayne back in '89. That doesn't count anymore. He's statute of limitations. He could be somebody else now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying, he's not Bruce Wayne. He was playing a character in that movie. So now in this movie, he's playing a new character. Adrian Toomes, the Vulture.
No, I think you're misunderstanding. See, this is Batman versus Batman v Spider-Man. Like last time we had Batman v Superman. If Batman could be in a Superman movie, why can't he be in a Spider-Man movie?
Two different.
Everybody knows it's possible because that's why we just had it. Thank you.
Two different universes. He's not Bruce Wayne. He's playing Adrian Toomes, and
that's the Vulture.
The Vulture, yes, and he's a very good Vulture.
Yeah, Adrian Toomes, just a nice blue collar man trying to get things done. Got himself a great contract to clean up the city after the war, after the Battle of New York.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, going around getting all this Chitauri or whatever they are,
artifacts, as they call them.
He's about to clean up when, of course, good old a-hole number one, Tony Stark, goes, "We can't have that. I'm going to profit from it." But my own group, Damage Control, comes in, takes it right from him.
Snatched the rug right off from under him.
Taking good money from good, solid-of-the-earth people.
Yes, and it had a nice opening with good, solid-of-the-earth people were like, wow, we just lost our jobs in an instant.
But, of course, Batman has other ideas.
That's not Batman. It's Adrian Toomes, the Vulture.
I think if you look up on IMDb, you'll find that he played Batman. So Batman comes up with other ideas.
He comes up with other ideas, and of course, he still has some of the tech that he salvaged, and of course, with that tech, he enables himself to become not only the Vulture, but he also creates a few more villains that are classic Spider-Man villains.
Oh yeah, they delve into the Rogues Gallery. We actually get technically more than three, I think, of the Rogues. It seems that we're going to see at least one more in the next movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not the only unsaid Easter egg in this movie. This movie's packed with them. A lot of things that if you don't know who's who, you're going to be surprised when the next movies come around.
Yeah. What did you think about Childish Gambino's small role in this movie?
It's a small role. Almost seems unnecessary till you realize who the character he plays is. And not to spoil anything for those who want to. It's a lot more fun to go look it up. But check out the character's name. Look him up. He's a more important character in the Marvel Universe. Not just that, he's also related to another character that's maybe very well playing himself.
And with this door open for this other character to come through, do we think? My speculation is that we shall see him by the third movie.
My suggestion is that it's there just as a get out of jail free card if Sony wants to trip and Marvel wants to keep this going.
That is, and you got a point there too.
But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about the movie itself.
Yes.
We just got to the basic beginnings. Now we've gotten the Vulture introduced. We get his motivation, which is he now has the plans to go gather up all this alien technology before the Damage Control can get it, or sometimes steal it from them and resell it to make a fortune.
Now, here's the thing about superhero movies, and I think here's the thing that a lot of people complain about superhero movies. In this case right here, you would figure that this guy would be doing this, and after that it's, I've got to conquer the world. That doesn't seem to be the case, does it?
No, this man just wants to take care of his family and provide for people. So, is he really a villain? Truly? I would say no. I'd say he was doing right, and the true villain is Tony Stark. He's the one who's been tripping on Batman. Batman is not going to stand for it.
Look, as Tony Stark and Damage Control said, they couldn't just have random contractors gathering this stuff up. They had to be gathered up by somebody that had the ability to keep it. So therefore, Tony Stark is not the villain, but
the control freak who believes his ways are more important than others, and those should follow.
Well, this is a follow up to the Civil War conversation
Stark.
that I have always had. I will say this about the situation: it was a bad situation. It was a very real life situation applied to this fantastic setup, because these are the decisions that have to be made, and there are times when a good decision still has bad consequences, i.e., good, honest, hardworking guys
But is it a good decision?
losing their jobs.
Is it a good decision?
Well, we'll have to find out. But it does, on the surface, seem to be a good decision.
Now, fast forward to more, the most important part of this movie is that it's actually more Peter Parker than Spider-Man. You spend a lot of time with Spider-Man and his cast, his high school friends. Now, everybody wants to say this is John Hughes movies. This is 16 Candles. This is Pretty in Pink with superpowers.
Mm-hmm.
I disagree. Although it has a somewhat feel of it, it's just because they're in high school that you feel people go, John Hughes. I'm like, it doesn't have that whole Chicago Midwest feel that comes with a John Hughes movie. And it doesn't have the tropey jock and nerd characters that are normally in a John Hughes movie. But you do get a really good teen film in this.
Well, isn't that the most important thing about Spider-Man? It's not always been about him being in the costume. It literally is this kid and his friends, or sometimes rivals, and him dealing with basically the crappy 4 years or of that growth period of your life of being in high school. So a very big part of Spider-Man, I've actually, I read the comics for a long time when I was younger, is that this guy has always had this extended family friendships, that type of deal. And it's literally, basically, it's always kind of been a John Hughes type or a teen coming of age story with superpowers. Even in the comics, if you really want to be honest about it.
Yeah. Well, yes, the best time of Spider-Man was that time.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't always been that, because the Spider-Man, unlike a lot of other characters, has grown and went from high school to college.
You're right.
High school. But his high school time is the most impactful and it's the most fun time of Spider-Man. And so right now we're getting this fun Spider-Man, because as we know, he's just a walking Shakespearean tragedy.
Yes, he is.
And so before we go into Sadland, we get a hero who actually wants to be a hero, who's actually excited to do good things and have fun, and a kid who has great friends, who isn't worried about being bullied, who's has a great high school career going for him,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got a bevy of young beauties that if I was much younger, I would have no chance with.
Speaking of young beauties that you would have no chance with, Zendaya as a very important character, Michelle, as she's referred to in the movie. She had some of the best one-liners in the series, in the movie, and there's one particular one about the Washington Monument that those of us that are quote unquote woke will just love, absolutely love. So,
Woke's a joke.
Woke's
anyway. Yeah, take that. Do something with that.
So I would say that Zendaya brought a very interesting perspective to the movies.
And I liked her style of character. A lot of people said she was all the dark emo girl, and it's like, she's not emo. She's not dark like that. She's the weirdo. She's more like, she's not as dark as like the Ali Sheedy character in 16 Candles.
Mm-hmm.
Making me cough. Anyway, but she is closer to she just doesn't have time for people's crap.
Yeah,
or
I would
for
say
anything really. She's just very apathetic.
Yeah, she comes across very apathetic, and also she provides a interesting foil for Peter and his best friend.
Which, he stole the show from me. He was my favorite part of this.
Yeah, he was, and
he knows that he is a new style cliche. You know, the guy with the screens.
Yeah, the guy he points out one of the greatest tropes that we never point out in superhero or even in action movies whatsoever. So, what the guy we're talking about is Jacob Batalon, and he plays Ned, and Ned, of course, is Peter Parker's trusty best friend, sidekick, wingman, the whole 9 yards. And for me, I agree. He stole the show. Strangely nuanced character for somebody that could have easily been one dimensional, easily. But the young man really pulled it off. And again, this movie is really just aided by the fact that all the kids are kids. It's like Disney just said, "Hey, we're just gonna raid the vaults right here." who we got? All right, yeah. If you're over the age of 17, you can. I don't think you could have tried out for this movie for certain parts. So Jacob did a great job, and also Laura Harrier as Liz. She did a very good job.
Yeah, she did really good as the love interest. With a twist.
Yes, love interest with a twist. And I think I like the fact that she was while she was a love interest, she was her own person, and she had her own kind of story arc going that was contrary to she's just a prize type deal.
That's right. She had agency.
Yes. In fact, that was I think that's the word that we could use for pretty much every character in this movie. Everybody had their own agency. Even Jon Favreau is Happy Hogan, who comically was stuck with babysitting a young superpower Peter Parker. And I don't know. Here's the thing. Do you think Jon Favreau actually likes Tom Holland? Because he was a little too realistic.
He likes the kid. He just doesn't have time for it. He feels like, hey, this is just yet again Tony crapping on me.
Right.
Make me do something I shouldn't have to do.
And the only reason I asked that, or the only reason I asked that is because you remember the famous Martin Lawrence story where when he's supposed to do the scene in Bad Boys 2 with the one kid, he basically that whole week he was just a total curmudgeon to the kid. So the kid was like, this guy doesn't like me. So that's one of the reasons why the scene came off the way it did. So I wonder if Jon Favreau did Tom Holland the same way. Just the whole movie, he's just like, I hate you.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Yeah,
well, fine. Don't be wrong. So, all right, I am going to give one spoiler. And it's not really a spoiler, and it has to be explained. We here at Big Fat Hero, we live by something or have a few rules that seem to apply to certain to movies in general. One of the rules is the Bokeem Woodbine rule. Yeah, the Bokeem Woodbine. Bokeem Woodbine, if you don't know, is a great actor. He's been in a lot of movies. Unfortunately, Bokeem Woodbine dies. In all his movies, every movie he dies. So this is one of. Well, not every movie, but this Spiderman Homecoming is one of a few movies that has broken the Bokeem Woodbine rule. So I think that's a good thing for upcoming movies. We don't know how long that'll last, but because it's Bokeem Woodbine. But at least for this one, he made it out the movie unscathed. Well, I wouldn't say unscathed, but
he lives.
He lives. So, all right. So
it was a total shocker.
Yeah, it was a total shocker. But all right, so overall impressions, Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah, this is that movie. It's actually, I think it's better than I actually think it was better than Guardians 2. I think it's actually better than 85% of the Marvel movies. It's
Now, don't be so rash. I would say that it's up there with Guardians. They both bring the joy and not just the action.
Yes.
So that's worth something. They're different, but give you the same worth. So I wouldn't say it's better than. I say they're equal. Those are the bar. And then if you're looking for just fun in your superhero movies, I would say you have those two, and then I have a feeling that the next Ant-Man and Wasp is going to be up there too.
Well, next Ant-Man and Wasp, that cast is looking pretty good. So right now, I would say, yeah, I would agree. But Spider-Man Homecoming was a major hit. Very happy with how it came out. We're glad that Sony was only allowed to make a couple suggestions, and basically, you'll see that throughout the movie.
If you want a movie that has action,
yep,
that has comedy, that has a semblance of romance, that has Marissa Tomei in a wet T-shirt, then you should see a different movie. But this one is hilarious and entertaining, and you should see this one anyway.
Although that would have been nice, but I'm sorry, I was going off subject. So yes, hilarious and entertaining. This was a great movie, a very wonderful experience. So if you haven't seen it already, go out there, check out Spider-Man Homecoming, and also there is some very specific cameos, and you have to stay to the very end of the credits for all the stingers. So
there's 2 stingers, and the last stinger is the most important.
It's the best one. So you have to stay for the end. So guys, go out and check out Spider-Man Homecoming. It's a Marvel and Sony co-production. Thank God for Marvel. And yeah.
And I hope y'all enjoyed this extremely disjointed and random review. It's going to get worse, and we hope you enjoy that too.
We're going to keep it ratchet. So, alright, check you guys out next episode. If you saw the thumbnail, you kind of got an idea what that's about. And this is the Big Fat Hero Podcast. My name is DKG72.
And I am the one and only Lord Hijack.
And we're out. Peace.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Goodbye.
Never do that.
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people